Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dr. Christopher Ramsey here at the office of Ritter and Ramsey. So today we're going to document doing an amazing case. We have dual arch hybrids that we want to go ahead and scan and go ahead and start moving towards the final restorations. So we're all here today with our laboratory micro mapper. We're going to go ahead and scan it with the iTero, take it off, put the flags on, scan that, start to design, and then print our actual prototypes that we can try in that can go back to the lab to mount to move on to our final prosthetic. It's an exciting case. Looking forward to showing you every single step. All right, so here we are, dual arch hybrids, getting ready to take off the prosthetics. As you can see, he's done really well. They've been in for months. Go ahead and bite down normal for us there. Beautiful. But as we know, these are made with denture teeth and denture acrylic. We want to move on to hybrids that are going to be made out of zirconia and give them actually even a better result. We're thrilled with what we've got so far, but our goal today now is open for me there. We're going to go ahead and take this one off here momentarily, put the flags on and start scanning. Okay, maxillary hybrid is off. All the screws are remaining over here, so we don't lose those. They're very important for the case. Maxillary is off. Next step right now, we're going to put on all of the flags and start the scanning process. All right, guys, the temporary hybrid is off, and now it was time to put on the flags for the micro mapper. So as you can see here, come on in here, take a look. These are on, and what we have here is the graphics. As you can see, the digitized graphics all facing forward. They're moved at angles so that when we go through the scanner, we can pick up all of these printed markers here. So we're going to scan here momentarily, but these are the flags for the micro mapper system. All right, so we've scanned the upper. Now we've removed the lower prosthetic, and we're using the same flags. We're going to go ahead and mount those to the low profile abutments and do the scanning of the lower. All right, guys, so we just put the flags on the lower arch. As you can see here, we'll come in here and take a look. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to scan that. Then we'll have both arches. Between the scan of the prosthetics before we took them off and these, we're going to be able to cross-reference them and start designing new STL file that we can print in-house. All right, guys. Micro mapper of the mandibular arch. Here we go. So we scanned the upper and the lower with the analogs, and as you can see here, then we held them together manually so we could get the bite. What we basically have here is the same exact relationship that's in the patient's mouth. Now we can take this design, overlay it on the digital scans with the micro mapper, and know that we are accurately in exact space that we have in the patient's mouth. All right, so what do we see here? What we have here is the iTero scan brought into this software and overlaid onto the scan that you previously saw that represents the analogs. So we have two scans overlapped on top of each other. Our next step is to go ahead and introduce the next scan and bring all three onto one. What you see here in the gold is the flags from the digitized scan. Now we're going to line up those analogs with the lower analogs so that we will have the exact same position correctly on the flags that were found in the patient's mouth. And we can move those in. We'll go ahead and pick our coordinates, and those will all attach to the proper analogs on the lower, and everything will be lined up correctly. As you can see here, we're lining up these dots here to go ahead and allow the software to really bring everything in together correctly. So all the dots are lined up, and as you say, it clicks to grid. You're going to notice that the proposed flat spots on the analogs may be different on the digitized scan as it is from the ones that we did scanned by hand. Not looking for the flat spots to line up, just making sure all the conical and flat connections and the shapes all line up so that we know we've got the maps in the right exact position. So one of the advantages to bring in all three scans is now you can see your prosthetic over the current proposed soft tissue. What we're doing now, as you can see here, is simply filling in before we decide to print the distance between the old prosthetic and the healed tissue to fill in that gap. Yes, you could take your printed model and use a wash material. We'll do the same thing, but we're doing it digitally to get all the information so we can get it down to the soft tissue. Any small discrepancy, if we decide to, we can add a little wash material as a pickup, but the majority of it is being done digitally here. So now that soft tissue is getting abutted right down to the implant. All right, so now we're basically watching the software digitally place where it's going to provide the access holes. It's running through both arches. This used to be done manually. Now we can do it digitized. And there we are. Now what do we have? Two files ready to go to the printer to print out. So as you can see, these will now bolt right to patient's low profile abutments, and we'll be able to try these in, check occlusion, and send these back to the laboratory to move on to the final prosthetic. All right, so these are completed hybrids with the struts knocked off, everything cleaned up. Put the screws through and try these in now. Just occlusion. I'll show you what that looks like in the mouth, but beautiful 3D printing, all designed from the original scans, ready to try them in. All right, so we're at the tail end here. We 3D printed on the Sprint Ray printer, both upper and lower hybrids. Inserted the screws, came back to check fit. And as you want to zoom in here, we'll take a look. Go ahead and bite down normal for me there, brother. We've got a beautiful upper and lower. We did add some wash to just recapture any little discrepancies so that we can get that soft tissue just perfect. We extended it digitally on the lower here, and we are looking good. Go ahead and open for me there and bite down. Excellent. We are Johnny on the spot. Perfect. All right, well, our patient's done. Temporary hybrids back in place. Bite down for me. Big smile. Long day. But we are ready to go to the finals next time we see him. Hybrid finals made out of zirconia. Been a great day. Long day, great day, amazing tech day, but amazing overall.